Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. If you're here either in the Discord chat or here in YouTube, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. Oh, we got a lot of action here this morning. My goodness. We got Prof Trader, Luna, GT Vine, Trader Page, Grateful Trader, Charlie R, Zone Scalper, Double G, Wozni, Matthew. Good morning. Good morning. We have Monk, Michael, P Skynet, Mike, Travis, Joe, Vladimir, Alex, Frank, Mark, Ruski, Fruits of Deeds, Marco, Landshark Trades, Trader Joe, Melanie. Good morning. Good morning. Tracy Neal, Chris, Futures Trading Today, Jiva, Ruski, Driss, Moscone, Zero Cool, Kodak. Wow. We got a lot of folks in here. Michael, Turbo, Lowman 2, Avery, Michael, Suarez, T Hacker, John Baraducci, Mr. Moon, Fish Lips, Jello, James, Ralph, Alfred, Wanna Trade, Trading Lizard, Sean, Paul, Midland Trader, Tony D, Yasha, Chart, Billionaire, Fruits of Deeds, Rui, Sunrise Driver, Michael, Marcio, Denise, Gabu, G-Lines, hello, good morning, Boom Cycle, King Savant, Let's Do This, Legendary, T Hacker, hello everybody, good morning, happy Thursday. And by golly, this is the Thursday we've been waiting for. This is the one. Good morning, Jerry, Aaron, Josh. Good morning. So this is probably going to be the most explosive day out of the entire week, this short week. And again, remember, we do have a short week again next week. Monday, there are no trades. So we will be marking the kickoff of 2024 on January 2nd. And that is on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Right, yeah, Tuesday. Just had to make sure. Sometimes I doubt myself, but yeah, Tuesday next week is going to be January 2nd. Of course, New Year's Eve coming on Sunday, and then Monday, New Year's Day is going to be a market holiday, and so I will not be streaming here live on Monday, but I'll be back bright and early on Tuesday for another short week, and that's going to be the final short week that we have for a little bit, and then we'll have some other federal holidays peppered in the year, but 2024, by golly, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait. Let's pump up these likes nice and early here. If we get to 150 likes, we'll do a poll on what we think the NQ is going to do. If we get to 250 likes, we will stream live into the open today. So the economic data that is going to be coming out, it's going to be coming out in 25 short minutes. 25 short minutes there. Hey, good morning, Kurt. He says, got my first XFA payout yesterday. Way to go, Kurt. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we call a stacked lunch.
That's what I'm talking about, Kurt. That's a way to go. Kurt has been in the clubhouse here. He's just been trading like an amazing trader here. Trading like a maniac, really sticking to his discipline. And Kurt has just he's been a real inspiration. He's been doing really well. It's really cool to see that. So congratulations to you, Kurt, getting his first XFA payout yesterday. Amazing. So in 25 short minutes, we do have some data coming out here. We do have the preliminary wholesale inventories that are out. That's not a big one. It's okay. It's whatever. It's fine. Wholesale inventories, retail inventories, kind of important. Obviously, we want to kind of check into that, but it's going to be November, so it's prior to the Christmas season. So it's a little bit lagging on that one. And then the advanced goods trade balance. So that's going to be out at 8:30. But the doozy of the day, in my opinion, because the Fed basically told us that this is what they're looking at now, the doozy of the day is going to be the continuing and initial jobless claims. The jobless claims, the employment numbers. That's what we want to be looking at today. And the employment numbers should be very interesting here. And it should very much dictate where the market's going to go for at least today's session, if not the next two sessions. Because on Friday, tomorrow, we really don't have any important data. We do have the December MNI, Chicago PMI, out at 9:45. That's 15 minutes after the open, and that's pretty much it. We also have two Treasury auctions today that could definitely stir volatility. Yesterday, we had a little bit of stir in volatility. We had the market drop after we ran out of buyers in the area. We had some nice volatility. I didn't trade all that much of it. Ended up trading back in the Discord after we came off stream. I think on stream we made about $300, but I ended the day with both my XFAs up about $1,000. So we traded a little bit more there in the Discord and had there's just some great folks in there. It's a great community. I just love it. It's great chatting with fellow traders in there. And we had some great trades. Took it nice and light and buttery, not any crazy trades or anything, just trading the NQ and not going too wild. So that was really nice. Let's pop up a trader view here. Trading view, not trading view. trading view and check out what we're looking at here. We do have some bullish order flow that is tucked below 108 and a quarter here. It's betwixt 77 and 108 and a quarter. We talked about this yesterday on our call together, that we expected the price action to kind of waffle around in that area there. That was one of the scenarios that we painted out. So we do have some bullish order flow there for now. We created a bullish order block, and then we have a 4-hour inefficiency zone here, and we are just kind of painting liquidity up in this area. So the level to the top side that we're looking to reach today is all the way up at 190, which is not too far from where we are now. It's, about 40 handles from where we are now, so not that big of a deal. But when you do have inefficiency resting below an area like this and a bullish order block, there's a couple different things that can happen. This bullish order flow is going to be the strongest of the bunch. If you're rating them by strength, this bullish order flow should be the strongest, meaning that we might have an inducement below this bullish order block. Even though this is a strong order block, we might have inducement below that invites the price action back down into this bullish order flow. Find some liquidity down there, and now we're jumping back up, and we're maybe getting up towards 190 today. Now, if the jobs data comes in and it's super favorable for the market, we may not even paint down into that inefficiency or that bullish order block or even into that bullish order flow. We might just run up to the top side there and make it very strong up to 190. And that could be something that happens there just based on that initial print that's coming out here, like I said, in 20 short minutes. If that's the case, we do have room to the top side above 190. We do have some levels that I shared there in the morning memo, but there's some levels that are going to be important up there that we could be tagging to the top side. They are in the 200s, believe it or not. But to think that we're going to get very much higher by the end of Friday, I don't think that that's something that's, somebody was asking me, they said, hey, Rips, do you think we'll get to 18,000 by Friday? Well, that's a tall order to get to 18,000 by Friday, but can we get there in January? Yeah, sure. Of course we could get there in January, depending on the data and things that happen. But what we're looking at here, is just, we want to face what we can with the information that the market is trying to get to us here. And we're trying to we really just want to be focused on what we can see in the near term, because as traders, we're trying to capture that small burst of volatility. We're not swing trading here. We're day traders. We're trying to look for moments and pockets of volatility that we can judge where the directionality of the market's going to head. And we try to get little bits and pieces and nibbles of that. We're not trying to figure out, hey, where's the NQ going to be by the end of February? It doesn't really matter to us as day traders. So let's focus on what we can find that's in the near term, and this is what we're looking at on the table here. Let's see if we have a preview here for the weekly claims. So the initial jobless claims, we're looking at a 210,000 estimate. The prior read was 205,000. On the continuing claims, we're looking at a 1.88 million estimate. The prior read was 1.865 million. So we are looking for the jobless and continuing claims to come in a little bit hotter than last week. But if they come in super hot, I'm kind of confused now what would actually happen, because before the Fed had come out with the FOMC, their last FOMC meeting, it was very clear that if we had more people out of work, that was a good thing for the Fed, because it basically says that the more people are out of work, the less people have money to spend in this economy, right? This is economics 101 here. The less people that have money to spend in the economy, the less money there is in the economy. Less money there is in the economy, prices will naturally come down, right? And that is combating inflation. We are kind of hinting that we are going to get towards this Goldilocks scenario of a soft landing. Somehow, some way, the Fed may have done it. And of course, we can have a discussion on that at a different time, where a lengthy discussion on whether or not the Fed actually achieved this or is close to achieving this. A lot of people think a lot of the numbers that are coming out are total hullabaloo and just a bunch of nonsense. But for the most part, we have to kind of play with what the Fed's doing, because the market is agreeing with what the Fed's doing and what they're saying in the data that's coming out. If you want to be, disagreeing with them, that's fine. But as traders, we have to trade the market in front of us. And if the market is suggesting that the Fed is doing the right thing here and the market's bullish on these things, well, let's join the party and ride it. Don't be one of those contrarian folks that says, this is ridiculous. The market's going up. This is all nonsense. I see so many people out there that are like that. This market's up too much and it's all this nonsense. And okay, well, great. Well, then hop aboard and ride it. Who cares if it's nonsense? Let's get paid to ride the nonsense trade and choo, all aboard. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter. Let's just get on board and ride this thing. Who cares if it's nonsense? But again, you take the information that the market's trying to give us here and you try to use that to your advantage. And that's all we're looking at doing here. It doesn't matter if you disagree with it. It doesn't matter if it's, a bunch of nonsense. We're traders. We're not trying to, if you disagree with it, you're not going to be the person who changes everything. You're not going to be the special snowflake that comes along and changes the world because you have a disagreement with the markets. So it's a lot better ride the train and be aboard this thing if it's as ridiculous as it is. We trade this thing up, we trade it down, it doesn't matter. We trade it up, down, all around, loop-de-loos, and whatever we want to do. It doesn't matter. Just trade the trade and don't worry so much about whether or not this is the right thing that is happening or not, right? That's what credit cards are for. Yeah. Well, credit cards, there's also a discussion on that too. There's some data points that came out that said, the average American is more in credit card debt than ever before. But if you're adjusting for inflation, it's actually kind of in line with what we've seen in other peaks and other times where the economy has been sort of overextended, I guess you could say. Slothfather says up 1750 on crude through the London session. Way to go there, Slothfather. Way to go. Alfred says the market is never going to do what you think it should do. It will do what it wants. And yeah, as traders, take that ego and check it at the door. If you have this ego about the market, in fact, I was reading, I go on Twitter sparingly because it's just insufferable these days, but I go on Twitter and for some reason, my feed is just filled with contrarians from time to time. And yesterday, this person's posting that I'm taking a break. This is ridiculous. You idiots can have this market. And it's like, okay, well, the market's going up. You don't want a piece of that. You can only trade it one way. I don't know. I don't really understand that. Trade it both ways. If the market wants to go down, let's trade it down. If it wants to go up, let's trade it up, right? Let's see here. NQ has been up while ES and the Dow were kind of lower overnight. I'm seeing the ES is still, let's bring up the ES. Why don't we? Yeah, we have a little bit of a pullback, but we did have this little up jump the boogie in the Globex session. So we have kind of tapered off there. I am seeing the Magnificent Seven still pretty strong here. And so NQ showing that relative strength versus, the rest of the market not really doing that much. Small pullback in the NQ here, but really nothing to shake a stick at. As long as we're holding this kind of orange block, this orange zone here, like I said, the lowest that we could probably go is tapping down to that inefficiency. If we have some bearish pressure to the downside, then I would see us potentially finding inducement below that bullish order block and looking to get into that bullish order flow below. Good morning, Ailita. Good morning, Big G-Ski. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see here. Market tends to go the path of least resistance. Yeah, or it goes the way where you have a lot of shorts that need to cover. If they're overextended in their short-sided trades, then we have these short squeezes, which we've kind of had. There's been a lot of hedge funds that have been offsides for this, right? Mark says, our financial system is a lot like our school system. Grade on a curve so that the numbers can reflect what you want them to. Yeah, I can agree with a lot of that, the numbers that are coming out. They're not, it's just kind of ridiculous sometimes, saying that inflation is coming down. And if you go and you look at prices and retail, that's again, I don't want to dive into that discussion too deep, but that is kind of, I agree with you there. Crude, let's see. We have some folks talking about crude in here. Let's see. Yeah, crude, look at that. We had a big spike in crude, but we've since kind of given back those gains here. We are kind of trading back where we were on the 21st. I actually want to zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the 1 hour on this. And let's see here. Yeah, just kind of back into this area of consolidation. We do have a nice uptrend here, and it looks like we kind of are testing that. This is probably the low that you'd want to see if we're going to break down in that low 72. What is that there? The low spot 35. So if we're breaking below 72 spot 35, I think that there's probably either a liquidity grab below that, or we could actually be auctioning lower. Be interesting to see what happens with OPEC Plus at the top of the year, the first quarter. We do actually see crude does react usually in the first quarter of the year, so we will have to see if there's any kind of news about OPEC Plus about that. Ribs, yesterday I passed my second 150K combine. Now I have 2 XFAs thanks to what I learned with you every day. Thanks. Hey, look at that. Give it up for Joel here. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You're hurting my little snowflake feeling. Leave your ego at the door. Trading has no room for ego. I mean, I love being wrong in trading because it means I don't have to be in the trade anymore. Come and stop me out. Come and get me. Take me out of that trade. That's perfectly fine. I'm wrong often, and that's okay. It's just you don't want to stay wrong. If you're wrong, you get knocked out. You get stopped out of the trade, and that's that. Andrew says, coming up on election year, everything is rosy. Exactly right. Yeah, everything's fine. Don't look over here. Yeah, everything's perfectly fine. Caesar says, as weird as it may sound, yesterday's move stayed within technical levels unless there's a momentum trade. Buys at key levels late in the session have paid reasonably well. Yeah, and we are just kind of slowly grinding to the top side here. We've just been moving up higher and higher and higher. we don't really have the short fuel that would propel us to get to that, and I say 18,000 jokingly, but we don't have the short fuel that's going to fuel that move unless there's some large player here that's going to be getting out of a massive position that we haven't seen across the tape, or if somebody's taking an extremely large bet in the options contracts and the dealers who are selling those options contracts to whomever is purchasing them needs to do a large hedge, that could also move the futures market as well. Don't forget to I hear that a lot. Everybody says, I talk too fast, but I'm trying to get as much information I can to you folks out here before we get this print. I mean, I could be like other streamers out there and just kind of say, talk every 5 seconds here. Whoop, that's not it. Go here. Let's see. This is what we can do if we want to be like other streamers here. Ready? And yeah, we're at the 50s. We might go to the 40s, might go to the 60s. I don't know. Maybe we could do that instead if that's more preferable. I don't know. I prefer to I love talking about the market, so I think that'd be a lot better, right? I just think that there's not really much value in that, He said, Matthew in the Discord said, yeah, don't do that. But anyway, so we have those jobless numbers that are coming out. Let's look at the preview for the preliminary wholesale. We have the month over month read is going to be negative 0.2% for the estimate. The prior was a flat read on that one for the wholesale inventories, for the retail inventories rather. For the wholesale inventories, we're looking at a negative 2% estimate. The prior read was negative 0.4%. So that's what we're looking at for that, for the preliminary wholesale inventories. I really just think that we need to be focused for the jobless claims on this print. And I was kind of touching on this. We're talking about, prior to what was happening, prior to the SEP dot plot being released in the last FOMC meeting, what I was looking for, what we were looking for as traders, what we're exactly looking for was we wanted to have less people in work. Now the Fed has kind of changed their pace, right? They kind of said that we want sort of a strong labor market, but not too strong. So when we're looking at these jobless claims reads coming out, it's really kind of this tricky scenario where if we have a ton of people out of the work, out of jobs, I think that the market's going to react in a way that I just, I don't know if that we have a huge, let's just say, okay, so 205,000 is the estimate, right? Let's just say that we have a read that comes in 300,000. We won't. I mean, I would love to be wrong on that, but I don't think that we're going to get a read for 300,000, right? 300,000 would be a strong read prior to the S&P dot plot being released when we had the FOMC meeting in December. So if we do have a read like 300,000, it's going to be weird because the Fed is going to look at that and say, well, now the labor market's not strong. We have less people out of work, but the inflation's coming down. I don't know if the market would react strongly on that, but if we had that print prior to the December meeting, December 13th FOMC meeting, if we had that print coming out then, the market would have ripped like crazy because everybody's looking at the number and saying, hey, the Fed wants less people in work because that's going to bring inflation down. So we're in a precarious situation now. We're in a very, very weird situation where it could potentially change things where if we have too hot of a read, and when I say hot, I'm talking about 300,000 read, even 250,000 would be a very hot read. If we have that kind of read, well, I don't know if the market's going to react positively on that, but let's see. We're traders. Let's expect the unexpected. We do have our zones kind of drawn out on here and looking for what we're looking for. To the top side, we do have room all the way up to 190, like I said, and getting that potentially good read. I'm not sure what it's going to be. If it's 250,000, I'd be surprised. If it's slightly lower, I'd be surprised. If it's something like, let's say it comes in at 190,000, 205 estimate comes in at 190,000, is 15,000 less. Well, let's see what happens. That could send the market kind of in a tailspin, then potentially back to this bullish order flow. The thing about a setup like this is that I call this kind of a wafty setup, right? We're kind of wafting up above here, but we have so much of the order flow that is sitting here. See, if we look at the market profile, let's pull that up here. Look at how much volume is contracted in this area here. We have 2 days of volume contracted in this area versus just a little bit of volume here contracted in that, right? We have the end of day sort of Globex session here. This is where all the volume has been contracted, but liquidity attracts the price. So if we actually have a negative read on that, we could have a reason for everybody who's been selling up here to kind of push on the price and push it down to the downside here, cover shorts, and then we rip it back up to the top side. So a lot of different potential scenarios on the table for us today. So we'll have to wait and see. Got to ask, does anybody have a trade on right now? Does anybody have a trade on here? Luna says the most volume is on the bottom half of the order flow too. Exactly right. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see if we actually meander back down there. What do you think market can go to yesterday's close? Well, we're kind of, that's kind of where this bullish order block is resting here. So we could potentially see, some inefficiency being pulled down. That inefficiency would kind of be it creates this imbalance, but it also creates sort of this inducement that wants to bring the price back down to that bullish order block there. So no trades on from most of you folks. Stress-free is long. Michael's going long. Fruits of deeds is doesn't look like anything. And long NQ, nice work there, PDJ. Long from 53, very nice. Looks like we have a lot of long folks in here. Why don't we start this poll? What do we get up to? How many likes are we at? 163. Let's do that poll real quick here. All right, does the NQ end the day up or down? Let's say up, down, and then we'll do unchanged here. And there we have it. So go ahead and vote. All your votes are anonymous, of course, and can't see if you voted. So vote honestly. Vote what you really think is going to happen today here. Do you think it's best to trade oil report on the NQ versus the CL? Well, you're talking about when we have the inventories come out, I'm guessing there, Kenneth. When we have the inventories coming out, trading crude is obviously going to be the best one, because that's going to be the one that's moving. I mean, if you're trading, if there's no crude inventories coming out, obviously trading crude is no good, but trading crude or natty gas when the inventory is coming out, and trading the actual instrument itself is going to be better than trading the NQ, in my opinion. Hi Rips, was listening to you yourself on a Top Step video. You spoke about how in the new year you ended up over trading, had too many contracts on. For someone who hasn't traded new year, any advice? Thanks. When I was brand new, trading with a lot of contracts on was, something. When I very first started trading futures, I was trading a TD Ameritrade account. I think I've told this story before, but I want to make sure we have enough time. But yeah, when I was trading futures for the very first time, I was trading NQ futures, and I was trading on a TD Ameritrade account, and I tried to trade more than one lot, and they had it locked out. I had to call I had a personal line with the local broker rep person here where I live, and called them up, and I said, hey, I want to trade more than one NQ. This is a $20 thing. I trade larger positions than this. Let me trade. And he said, how many do you want? I said, I don't know, 100 or 200. And he's like, no. And then we settled on 25, and then I just ripped in 25 lots in the NQ. And like first few trades, I was making, 5 figures, and then I lost a bunch, and I was like, wow, this is not what I expected. And yeah, so I was trading a lot. Maybe that's what you're talking about there, but I was trading a lot when I very first started, and then I obviously tapered back, pulled back, because 25 lots on the NQ is, you're trading like a real jackwagon in that case. Do you think the volume will come back next week, or will stay slow for the first week in January? I think by the tail end of the week, we'll have all of that volume coming in there. I think that we'll have, by the tail end of the first week of January, that we will absolutely have volume coming in. So next year, I want to be able to read the market like this. Hey, just keep focusing on the market. Keep paying attention to the macro environment. Pay attention to the news. Keep up to date with everything. And, if you don't enjoy this stuff, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I love this stuff. It's a brand new story being told every single day. I have a very big passion for these markets, and I love chatting about them. I love learning about them. I love being involved in them. It's one of the best things in the world, in my opinion. And I think that's one of the keys to being successful with trading, is that you really have to love what you do. If you're not having a good time doing this, it's not going to get any easier. I promise you that. It's not going to get any easier. At no point does it start to get easy, easy in air quotes. It never is going to get easy. It's always going to be difficult. It's always going to present a challenge, but it will become more comfortable. You will become more comfortable in your own skin trading after so long, but it'll never be easy. It'll never be easy, but yeah, if you want to learn to read the markets, just keep following along, keep focusing on your studies, journal every single day, pay attention to the macro environment, pay attention to the geopolitical environment, and see how that affects the market. There's so many different ways to trade. I like to trade on those types of things, on Fed stuff, macro, on market structure, all of these sorts of different things, but you find what works for you, you lean into it, whatever you find enjoyable, and you keep doing that. Long gold, short oil. Good luck there. Tracy, How long you been trading? About a decade there, Justin. About a decade. Man, your words are so exacting. I love to trade. I love that. That's awesome. We got some real fans in here. I just lost my funded account, was 3K up, tilting like crazy, very sad. Lock it down there, Ukondo. Lock it down. Lock it down. Just walk away. Just walk away. Tilt does not make anything better. And here's the thing I say about Tilt too, is if you're trading on Tilt and you actually have something good happen, it's going to connect these synapses in your brain where you're going to be rewarded for that tilt. And the next time you're tilting, you're going to say, I remember that last time that I was tilting and I made money, so I'm going to keep trading. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's no good. Good morning, Elon Musk. Good to see you. How's Cybertruck doing? I can't wait for the weekends to be over. So I think that means I enjoy trading. Yeah, if you hate Saturdays, Sundays, then yeah, it's that's your surefire sign of you love trading, right? As soon as you feel the tilt inside, you just walk. Yeah, for me, I feel it behind my ears. As soon as I feel that, it's I'm out. I'm gone. I'm out of here. All right, 2 minutes here until the print. I gotta select my accounts here. We're gonna do this on. Why not? We'll try this on an XFA. Which one do we want to do here? If we have a favorable print, I might get rocked on this, but what the heck? It's Thursday. It feels like Friday because today is going to be such an exciting day here compared to the rest of the week, at least. Legend says, took a fat L during the London session, hoping that I will end my day in the green. Don't focus on that P&L. Just focus on taking those really, really good trades. Don't try to focus on your P&L. Good morning, James. Lost my Top Step XFA previous week, up 5K, blow up now. Wait, so you were up 5K and then it blew up, or lost my XFA previous week, up 5K, blow up now? Not sure. But hey, if you folks, again, if you're having trouble with tilting, honestly, just take a break, step away from the terminal. Just step away from the terminal and just take the day off. You'll be serving yourself much better like that. All right, so we got that triple header print here coming out. Jobless claims, wholesale inventories, and the advanced goods trade balance. So let's see how that affects the market, shall we? 30 seconds here, folks. 30 seconds. Good luck to you all. Good luck. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit here. Good luck. All right, 15 seconds here. Again, the estimate on the jobless claims is 205,000 here. $218,000. Let's see how the market reacts to this. I'm going to take that long here. We are perking up a little bit. See if this holds at all. So the good trades balance came in at negative 90 billion versus a negative 88 billion. So a little bit cooler there. Wholesale inventories in line with estimates. Continuing claims were revised to 1.86 million. And there are some sellers up here, but let's see. Very low reaction on the print. Looking at volume here, very low reaction. So watching here, just a one lot on. Watching. I want to see this clear above 64 to add in a second lot, tagging that 70. So we'll see if this range can hold. I want to be holding above 58 for now. So watching here. If we can crest above 65 or so, we should get moving to the top side. I'm going to add into that for this break over 65 now. We do have some sellers up at 65, but if we break through them, we do have a clear shot straight to 70 here. So watching here if we can break above the 65 player. Yeah, that 65 player is getting a little bit spooky here. Bring my stop up to 61. Yeah, just not a huge reaction, to be honest with you. Very low volume, very low liquidity. So we might have to peel off if we're just not going to have that push through 65 that we're looking for here. So watching here, stopped out there. So taking a loss on that first trade. And again, keeping our stop very, very tight here. That's going to put us down on the day. 197 there, but trading only 3 lots. Very small size. You don't want to step into this crazy position because if we're not getting that move to the top side, we're looking for that 65 break to run all the way up to 70. If we're not getting that move, we're not going to get that move, you know? So it's just like, why really try to hammer into that, you know? Don't try to push it too hard. But let's see if we have some sellers stepping in here. See if we can get a recovery trade on this at all. Watching here now, the 50s. Little short reaction there on the Magnificent 7. Nothing really rolling over too heavy here. Some buyers are stepping in at 57 here. All right, so 57 holding. Kind of want to try this again if we have any kind of buyers stepping in. I'm just keeping an eye on volume too, which is tremendously low right now, mind you. Tremendously low. So seeing if, and if I was trading by a live account, there's no way I'd be able to trade a large position in that because it is just so scant with liquidity here. So watching and see if we claim the 60 area. Watching again. Okay, taking this long here, we're above 60s. Put my stop back at 57.75. Again, we got to get this player out at 65. That's what we're watching for here. Move that out of the way. So if this is a weak bounce, we will be boogieing out of this thing, but I want to be watching here if we are going to hold above 60s and then tapping that player up at 65. There is some liquidity up there. Not really a big pullback yet in the ES or in the SPY here. So I'm happy with trying this with another 2-lot position here. I just unsubscribed to Rips after that. Dang it, we lost one. Grateful Trader said he took a short here at the top. Very, very nice. Yeah, that print was just a lot left to be desired there. So we're looking to see if 60s hold. If 60s can hold, then getting back up above towards 65 or so. But happy to get stopped out here if we're wrong. Kind of want to move this 57 and right here. Just 56.5, I think is fair. Since what was the low here? 56.75. Kind of want to maybe just a little bit more here. Let's see, right there. All right, let's see if we can hold sort of the top shelf of this range here, 56.25. We are finding a little bit of bids firming up, just ever so slightly. Just trading small here. Yeah, Apple's kind of giving out a little bit. SPY is just waffling around here as well. But if we do firm up some bids and we have one player stepping in here, there is a chance that we can start encroaching back above 65, getting into those 70s. We do have some asks layered up, pushing into the 70s, but you know, if we caught this move at the approach into the 70s here, I think that could give us a nice move here to the top side here. So the VWAP I have is tracking at 830. So that one's right about 61 or so. And that's the one that resets right at that print. So it's kind of like a miniature volume profile that says that most of the volume right now has been taken at that 61 level. So if we encroach above those 60s, hold the 60s back above 61, we could be telling that story where we actually get strength and get some room there to the top side. But yeah, this is very much characteristic of holiday trading here, holiday hours where it's very low liquidity. And this is where you want to be keeping your trading size extremely, extremely small. You don't want to be jumping into anything too hot and too heavy and going too crazy. And that's why we're keeping our lot size small. So watching here again at 61, we do have a little bit of bidders stepping in here. A couple bidders. All the big players are still on tropical vacation. Yeah, they're in the Virgin Islands. They're over at Soggy Dollar there. They're enjoying their time away from the markets. Yeah, this is very, very small. But again, so this is easy for one player to push up here, that if we get above 61, we could start to have some short covering. Just a little bit, you know. I'm just looking at the volume. It's tremendously, tremendously low. Spread this out a little bit here. There we go. So we could see that a little bit better. Delta positive on the NQ, negative on the ES. Let's see what it's over at in the ES here. I have a 19 delta for the ES, so almost negative. It's waffling in between, so. Yeah, very, very sideways here. I'm going to actually just look to cover if we are just going to kind of falter down here. Just seeing if we have any kind of bid support that's going to show up here in the high 50s. Push it up on your live account. That would actually be pretty funny. Yeah, let me just slam 15 in the bid here. I'll support the bid, everyone. I got this. That would be hilarious. Oh, man. I actually, just the way that it's trading. I mean, if I could do more than 15 lots and I had a larger account that I could do that with, I could probably, you could push things around a little bit. You could definitely do that. That'd be really funny, actually. But, when I traded small caps, you can really move around the tape when you're one of the few players playing it in the after-hours session, or if you're trading with really, really big size, maybe in the pre-market. A lot of different things you could do in the small caps realm that can't really do in the futures realm. NQ is probably the thinnest actively traded futures instrument out there. It's very thin, but very actively traded. Most of the big dogs are trading their hedges in the ES and putting their liquidity there. Market maker rips. Hey, yo, Top 7, I got a few favors to ask you. Might need a little more contracts to play with today. Yeah, I'm going to be making the market all day. That's it. That's what we'll be doing there. So let's see if, SPY is kind of bouncing here. We have a little bit of, it's very, very low liquidity. This is watching paint dry. If we're looking down here at the volume, that print was actually pretty funny because, it just, the volume went straight down to the downside there. It is going to be interesting to see if we can actually get back down towards 50 or so. If we get back down towards 50, we could potentially find some strength down there. But I'll be watching today, specifically off the open. We'll try to capture as much momentum as we can in the short time that it's going to be. I think that most of the moves will probably come towards the close, the bigger moves, the exacerbated moves. But for the time being, let's see what we have on the schedule for the rest of the morning here. There's nothing at 9. We do have the pending home sales out at 10. So that's going to be 30 minutes after the open. We have the natty gas inventories also out at 10:30. And then the crude, gas, and distillate inventories are going to be out today at 11. The big ones, though, like I said, in the afternoon are going to be the treasury auctions, right? So we have a 7-year note auction, and then we have a 4- and 8-week bill auction. So that's really where most of the market's eyes are going to be focused today, in my opinion. That's where I think that most of the people are going to be looking. Most traders, active traders, are going to be looking for their positioning. And it also gives market makers, big players, institutional traders, it gives them an excuse to put a lot of liquidity into the market and using those prints as an excuse to sort of have that liquidity in the market there. So let's see if we are going to hold up here at these mid to high 50s. We are just we see a little bit of bid support coming in, but we haven't broke above that VWAP at 61. And that's the 830 VWAP. It's like a miniature volume shelf here that we've created. The actual running VWAP is down there at 147. So we'll have to see. Very, very low reaction here. And this, again, if we're looking down at the volume here, these are the 30-second volume bars here. You can see how very low this liquidity is. So as much as we're joking about it, it really is something where you could actually push the liquidity around if you were trading, 30 to 60 lots in position sizing there. So the 7-year note auction is going to be at 1 p.m. Neon asked here in the Discord chat. It is going to be at 1 p.m. That's the 7-year note auction. So that should be exciting here. Somebody's waking up. Somebody's trying to walk up the price here above this 61. Let's see if they're stuffing this here. And whenever I say stuffing, I'm talking about people who are layering up on the ask and being a little bit heavier on the ask there. So let's see. Can we hold above VWAP here? Yeah, somebody's still stuffing it. They don't even want to take it to 65, surprisingly. I wanted to try to add in one lot for the walk up towards 65. Let's see if they firm up bids for us at all here. Again, this is that 61 area where we've had a lot of the volume being contracted. Probably have about 100 lots in the chat. Let's give it a try. Yeah, if we're all trading on live accounts, we could do it. Some real market manipulation. Might get a knock on the door from the SEC. All right, everybody, go long now. That would not be good. That would not be good there. That's why I like Top Step too, is that, most of us, we're trading on a simulated account, simulated environment. Like I'm trading XFAs right now. None of my orders are hitting the market. I'm not trading on my live account. I'm going to be saving that until next week. Next week when we actually have some liquidity coming into the market here. I'm long. Let's go, Clubhouse. I can't get you because we have a 3-second delay. Yeah. All right. So on that little, and I mean, we're talking about micro movements here. On that little tiny push to the downside here, we see a bidder stepping in with about 30, 40 lots there. So that is a good sign. But I do want to see, again, I want to see encroachment up 61, 62. I want to see them start pushing on that. And I want to see those sellers start to step away and say, okay, we can let this thing run towards 65, I suppose. That's what I'd like to see here. So wanting to see this player start to give out here. It's not even that thick to the top side, but I think most of our bidders here are kind of hidden. So watching here, yeah, there's a little push up. Watching now towards that walk up for 65. Watching here. Very slow watching paint dry. This is if you wanted the NQ, if you ever said the NQ is too fast for you as a trader, here's the slowest NQ you're ever going to trade right now. So if NQ was ever too fast for you, jump on in. This is going to be the slowest NQ session you've ever seen. I'm going 3 lots there. Looking for this push up to 65. I'll move my stop too. If we get a flash down to 59, hey, we'll take it. But let's see if we can get this walk up. See if we have this bidder still showing up at the 61s here. And they're going to the sell side a little bit. I want to see this. Yeah, they're chunking it. Stopped out there. Yeah, we have that big player that was stepping up there. So that's going to put us down on the day. What does that make our total? $380 in the red there. They have a big player. I might have trailed my stop just a little bit too tight. You can see right here on the book map, that player right there stepped in and bought that liquidity. So that's actually a sign of strength. We just happen to have our stop right there. I didn't think they'd sweep right below 60, but just had our stop just a touch too tight there. Sunday is probably slower. Yeah, it depends. Globex opening usually has some fireworks on very low liquidity, but it will tap my stop, but no fill. Hey, that's good there, Grateful Trader. That's good. But 10 contracts made it all back. Hey, there you go, Condo. Hey, there you go. But yeah, Sunday Globex usually has an explosive move for the first 15 to 30 minutes. And sometimes, there's a very strong Globex session. It depends if there's geopolitical news that comes out, if there's anything that comes out, So I'm probably not going to trade now until at least 9 a.m., if not the open. So just because it's very low liquidity, I'd feel irresponsible. But you can see, this is kind of what I was talking about right here. You can see that big burst of volume. That is when we dipped down into that area. We got stopped out right there. We had our stop a little bit too tight. We probably should have floated it down there. But, the market's pretty directionless here. And so, yeah, maybe we would have got lucky. Maybe we would have got that push up to 65. But it's very slow and directionless here. I think that we can have some better, more advantageous trades once we get to the market open here. My red is redder, waiting for it to hit my max. No, don't say that. If having a positive mindset when you're trading actually has a lot to do with your results, believe it or not, and you can manifest things. I've manifested a lot of success in my life, believe it or not. I'm one of those people, but I believe that having a positive mindset and expressing gratitude on the daily and being very appreciative that we all have this opportunity. I mean, think about everyone here right now that is watching this stream, whether you're in the Discord or in the YouTube chat, the opportunity that you have right now is not what most people in this world have. And just being grateful at that level that you can be here sitting on a stream, playing the NQ or crude or ES, whatever you're trading right now, that is a gift. You are living out a gift of a life just by having this opportunity. And if you're not appreciative for that, I think that you need to check yourself and kind of pull yourself out of whatever's got you trapped in this cycle of thinking that I need more, I need more, I need more. Be grateful for what you have because you're so much better off right now just in this situation than so many people. And it's kind of, I don't know if rude is the right adjective, but not expressing gratitude to be in that position is kind of selfish. The opportunity that you have right now is a gift. And you should be extremely thankful for that because it's a blessing. And think about that. The next time that you're feeling down, remember how blessed you are to be in this position. It's an amazing, amazing thing. The only thing we will never have is enough. I like that. I like that a lot. Everyone needs to watch Florida, and you'll understand what Rips is talking about. Gratitude. Florida is a good one. There's the guy in there that says, bet more. That guy is great. I think actually Hogue or Eddie actually know that guy personally. I think that, I think that's the that guy, that his interview. I mean, the guy is completely trash, but he's a great interview, and you can see a little bit of pain behind his eyes, but it's one of those things where it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining. Some other good trading movies that you folks should watch for this holiday weekend. Again, holiday weekend, we got New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. New Year's Day being the market holiday. One of the things that you want to watch is going to be The Rogue Trader. If you've never seen that movie before, it's one of the most realistic movies out there. It's based on a completely true story. It's amazing. And Ewan McGregor's in it. He's a fantastic actor throughout it. And it's actually when he's much younger. It's an older movie, but it's one of the most realistic trading movies you'll ever see. They're trading the Nikkei, and they're trading futures. And you get to see how they kind of manipulate price in a pit and create demand for a price. They sell it. I won't spoil it for you, but it's one of the best movies out there. It's called The Rogue Trader. It's available for free on YouTube. I'll drop a link here. Make sure you folks check this one out. We can talk about it when we all come back here on I'm talking like it's Friday, but when we all come back here on Tuesday, I mean, we'll be here tomorrow. By the way, we're giving out Clubhouse, free months of Clubhouse tomorrow. I'm going to give out 3 free months of Clubhouse tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. Let me find the Rogue Trader here. I'll find this link. Yeah, this is it right here. This is available for free on YouTube, believe it or not. There you go. I actually chat to Nick Lee, said, wow, very cool, Chris. That's amazing. That's awesome. Margin Call, another good one. Yeah, that's about the 2008 financial crisis. Very good movie. Big Short also. I mean, who hasn't seen The Big Short, though, Rogue Trader, I'm surprised by how few people have seen The Rogue Trader. It's honestly, you can watch it with your wife, your husband, whomever. They'll enjoy it too if they're not a trader. It's amazing. Your kids will love it. It's a great movie. It's great act. It's a great story. If you're a trader, you're going to get a little bit of anxiety in a couple parts of the movie because you're like, wow, what is this guy doing here? But it's a fantastic movie. Wolf of Wall Street, it's the guy in that movie is just not great. I actually met that guy. That's a different story. He was in the neighborhood and he ended up stopping by. But yeah, he's a funny character. But yeah, that movie's, it panders to I don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, it's okay. But I like, Rogue Trader, very good. Margin Call, very good. Trading Place is also a good trading movie. What books do I recommend? I'll write them out right here. Markets in Profile. Mind over Markets. There we go. Those are 2 I recommend. Talk about TPO, auction theory, market structure. A lot of the stuff that we talk about on here. Very, very good books. And as we're chatting here, price is skittering on to the downside. I do want to see if we can get back down to these 50s. That's the hourly low. See if we get back down there. Happy we got stopped out. Don't want to be in a losing trade, right? That's why we get stopped out. And yeah, we are down $380. But hey, if that's how we end our day, that's how we end our day. But I expect that we might get some opportunities here off the open. So we'll have to see here. Yeah, this action is so very rincy indeed. New here, would you discuss your services, hours, and costs? Let me just drop the link here for you. I don't make any promises about joining Clubhouse that you're going to be a phenomenal trader or anything. All I say is that there's a 0 latency live stream on YouTube. There's a little bit of latency here between 1 and 5 seconds. We have an amazing community in there. It's a private community. There's obviously, it's people who are willing to pay a monthly membership. So you have a certain level of type of person that's in there. So you have a quality community, and then we also have an educational section that has webinars in it. You also get access to me. I do one-on-ones with anybody who asks as long as I have time for it, and I review your charts, review your trades as long as I have time. And obviously I'm going to have less and less time as the membership increases as we get more and more people in there. But I try to make time for everybody, and we do one-on-ones, do chart reviews. And we openly review trades in the chat as well. And then also there's a morning memo that's published every single morning where I give out the exact price levels that I'm looking at for the day, whether it's NQ or ES. Those are all given for the current contract. And then also I give out levels every single day for SPY, Apple, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google. And those are published every single day. They also go publish to a bunch of different brokers there. And they also... they publish it to E-Trade, to Thinkorswim, to Webull. All these other brokerages get it, but they get it about 3 or 4 hours late. In the Clubhouse, you get access to the morning memo, so a little bit early there. So so that's it. There's other people out there that are like, this course is going to teach you how to trade. You're going to be the best trader in the world. I don't say any of that stuff. I don't make any promises. I understand that based on my journey alone, that if you're a trader, this is going to take a very, very long time for you to be successful at trading, but you might as well do it with a great supportive community. You might as well do it with, if this is the type of trading style that you enjoy, you might as well do it with a person that you enjoy trading with. And like I said, we have a great community and zero latency live stream, morning memo, and all the educational materials. So that's my short pitch for Clubhouse. But if it's not your cup of tea, you can try it out for 7 days, for $7 for 7 days. And, try it out, see if it's your cup of tea. If it is, great. If not, hey, you're out $7 and at least you gave it a shot. And if you don't want to pay anything, then hey, hang out on YouTube, and we hang out here every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's what we do. First big loss on my combine yesterday, taught me a lesson, and then made $5K on paper trading, hoping to make some money back. So Woats, don't go into the mindset with, I feel like I've sold a car. So Woats, make sure that you're not trying to bring in yesterday's luggage into today's trade. Don't bring in yesterday's baggage. Don't be a baggage handler. There's enough of those at the airport. You don't want to be one too when you're trading. So if you're thinking about hoping to make some money back, you're going to be bringing in yesterday's drama into today. So don't do that. Don't do that. Focus just on taking really, really nice trades. It's like right now we're down $380. It's nothing, no big deal, but I'm not going to be getting there on the open and saying, oh man, I got to take a trade to get back to even. We're going to take a trade and see how it works out. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, take on a little bit more red, but that's trading. You don't want to, don't bring in yesterday's luggage into today's trades. Definitely refrain from doing that. You'll be better off. We got our Celsius again this morning. We have Arctic Vibe here. Again, a really great flavor for those out there that are working at Celsius. Come on down. We're looking for that stream sponsorship here. Enough of those at the airport. Good perspective. Appreciate your advice, man. Yeah. Just, just don't think about yesterday. Just trade today's trades. King Savant in the Discord says, this has to be one of the better communities I've been in, hands down. Thank you so much. There you go. Thank you. Landon says, pass my 50K combine again. I'm waiting to start a 150K to have it going and trade while I trade my XFA. Thoughts? I like trading the 150Ks because of the drawdown rules. And when you pass into the XFA, all of them have the same one lifetime price. You don't pay monthly anymore when you get over into the XFA. You pay one monthly price. It's $149, whether you're on the 50, the 100, or the 150. And if you're going to pass a combine, I say, might as well just have a 150K. Obviously, it's harder to pass in the sense that you have to get a higher profit target, but you can trade more lots. And, slow and steady, you'll get there if you're just patient. Trade 150K combines on here and we pass them. And we do it step by step, brick by brick. I think I actually have, I still have one combine. I haven't been trading it, but we've been focused on trading our XFAs recently. So also, the scaling plan on the 150K is nicer. XFA, that's Express Funded Account. And so that's the ones that you can actually withdraw from. So you start on the combine, you hit your profit target, they move you over into the XFA. The XFA is the one you can actually pull money out of the market from. Full port them and pass in 2 days. Yeah, no, definitely don't do that. And, I actually had somebody message me about that. I think it was Tuesday or yesterday. Somebody messaged me. They said, hey, I have this strategy. I'm going to go long in these and short in these and that and that. I said, okay, great. Now you pass them, you have your XFA. Now what? And they're like, oh, what do you mean? I said, well, you didn't practice learning how to trade, or you didn't practice your trading on your combine stage. What makes you think all of a sudden with your XFA, you're just going to all of a sudden know how to trade? So trade on your XFA, or trade on your combine how you're going to be trading on your XFA. If you practice that muscle memory, by the time you get passed over to your XFA, you're going to be ready to trade it. If you try to do some knuckleheaded stuff and you're trying to just YOLO into positions and, oh, come on, please, let's get this one. If I just do this, great. You'll get into your XFA. Congratulations, but good luck getting that payout because you're not going to be knowing what to do. So trade your combines exactly how you're going to trade your XFA. That's what you ought to do. Passed 100K yesterday. We'll work on getting 2 more with Top Step. Have passed 10 50K accounts with Apex, but I'm tired of their trailing drawdown rule. Screws up my swing trades. Yeah, it's difficult. It's stacking the decks against you. It's difficult. It's very difficult. I got a 20K payout from Apex myself, but never traded on them again. And that's just my choice. Everybody's different. Everybody can, if you can make it work, great. It just was not my speed. And I just wasn't my speed at all. Sounds just like how I trade my first 20 plus combine. Well, slow down. There's no rush. Everyone wants to rush into this XFA thing, right? If you're rushing into it, by the time you get there, you're going to be sitting around and being like, wow, this is tough. I'm scared. I'm nervous. But if you trade very consistently on your combine, you pass over to the XFA, and obviously there's the mental hurdle because it's like, okay, now this is the real deal. I can get paid on this thing. You're going to have a little bit of a mental hurdle, but for the most part, if you just trust yourself and trust your process, and if you're trading very well on that combine, it's going to be easy to pass on that XFA, or easy to take withdrawals from that XFA. There is no drawdown now in Top Step. There's a maximum daily loss limit. That's it. There's no trailing drawdown. There's end of day. It scoots up your maximum daily loss limit. So, Rips, I'm not rushing, but I'm in a hurry. Yeah, well, slow down. What confluences do you look for? I look at the Magnificent 7 if we're trading the NQ, and I also like to see that if we have confluence with both the, wow, we are coming down here, by the way. Yeah, I do want to see confluence across the board in Magnificent 7, talking about Apple, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. I also want to see confluence in the board if we have the ES and the NQ kind of trending together, up or down. That's confluence that I look for. So I'd like to see that, and that's obviously going to be where you're going to have the easiest trades. The easiest trades are going to be where you have confluence across the board, i.e. Microsoft and Apple being the number two and number one weight, respectively, of the S&P and the NAS. If you have both of those skittering onto the top side and the NQ is moving the top side, ES is going up, that's great confluence. You can hop on board and trust that, and then you can keep an eye out on Apple and Microsoft, see if they're going to waffle about, if we're still going to be running to the top side. Conversely, if they're barreling to the downside, then we can obviously be looking at that confluence to the downside. And if everything's moving to the downside, hop on board short, I've been a Rips Clubhouse Discord for several months, and I've become a much better trader. I've learned more in that time in the past 5 years on my own. Thank you so much there, Jake Wynn. Appreciate that. NQ hourly looks dumpy. Yeah, it's we're kind of still in this area up here. Put my P&L up here. We're still in this area up here. We're just skittering around up in this area. 2K day on crude. Wow, best day this month. Give it up, folks, for Slothfather here in the Discord. Way to go. Nice trading there. Beautiful. Love to see that. Dollars going up. Let's see. Let's pull up the Dixie. Yeah, wow. Big spike there. We do have that 9 a.m. liquidity injection coming in about 40 seconds here. So let's see if we have anything here. We are seeing some chunky bidders stepping up here. So I'm not really sold to the downside here just yet. We had SPY kind of break down here, ES kind of break down. So let's see, we are creating a new hourly low here. I missed my setup listening to you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Oh no, mute me. Press the mute button. Sorry about that. What was your setup? I hope nobody in here is missing setups because of me. Make sure you're focused primarily on your setups, and then if you have the stream on. Is the Discord free? Just looking for community, not call outs. It's if you want to try it out for 7 days, it's $7. And then there's if you end up not subscribing, there's kind of a free area where some people hang out in there if you don't continue with the paid membership there. So, but yeah, there's Nightbot posting it. So there's your 9 a.m. liquidity. Not all that much going on. SPY right now is bouncing at the 50 EMA. 50 EMA is usually very, very strong. And you can see here, we haven't touched into that inefficiency just yet. We do have about 30 minutes now until the market open. They say 50K are the hardest to achieve success in. 50K only allowed 2 contracts until proven you can make 1,500. I'm still at 1,200. Yeah, those are difficult. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually traded a 50K XFA. I think I may have passed a 50K. Maybe they did like a free 50K fire drill or something like that, and I passed a 50K, but I never paid the activation fee. It's just, for me and my style, the way that I trade, like I'm down $380 right now. I have a maximum daily loss limit of 3,000. So I'm encroaching over 10% into that range there. If I was trading in the 50K, I'm almost halfway there. The maximum daily loss limit is $1,000. So 15,200 today. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that. Maybe 17,200. I don't know about 15,000. We are coming down here a little bit. Let's see if SPY will actually break below the 50. We will have liquidity being injected in about 20 minutes here as well. This thing is breaking down a little bit. I want to see if we actually get into this inefficiency here to the downside, or if we're going to bounce at the inefficiency. If we encroach upon it, we could be attracting liquidity down to that bullish order block. So definitely eyes are peeled here for a potential short. I always hear people talk about the Top Step fire drill. So they do a discount usually when they have these fire drills. I'm watching the 40s here. If the 40s are going to break, top of this inefficiency is right at 39. So it is kind of a little bit tricky. We do have some aggressive ask stacks there from 47 all the way to 50. Usually trying to scare down the price. So it makes me a little bit wary to take this short here. Very, very nice there. Sloth Father making $2,000. Best day this month. I love that. Love to see that. Great morning, everyone. Hey, good to see you there. Vibe Trade Channel. I love the new name. Doomslayer says, yeah, the 1K is BS. I can easily hit 1K on 50K. I might need to increase to 150K. Yeah, I only trade the 150Ks. And again, it's for me, that lifetime fee being 149 for all of the same, all of the accounts, it just makes sense to just trade the 150 in my opinion and having that drawdown, especially if you're going to trade the NQ. You need to have that drawdown in the NQ. The NQ is a wild beast. It's crazy wild. So watching here at 39, boogie on over to Ninja Trader here, because we are having a little bit of a nice off here. I'm going to take that short here, 3 lots. They did have an ask stack show up at 40 there. So I'm wanting to see if we can get through this inefficiency and it can create an inducement down to this bullish order block below us. And if SPY doesn't bounce here at the 50, we're in good shape here. Move my stop to about 44.25. So very nice flush here going down. Just want to see us paint all the way through this inefficiency here to the downside. Rips, what does it mean when they flash the bid? It's usually algos trying to attract the price because other algos will react on it. It's technically spoofing, but they won't tell you that. They won't tell you that ever. So let's see if we can keep rolling down on this flush. 35 should give out here if we can actually push on them a little bit. And if SPY does crack this 50 here, so I'm keeping an eye out on SPY. SPY cracks the 50, we will see curtains to the downside, and that inefficiency play will be an inducement to the downside here. So keenly keeping our eyes and watching on that here. Some nice sell side activity here. 8 lots going off, 10 lots. So watching SPY here for a little flushacito. 35s need to give out here, and then the next test will be at 30s. Big whole number bidders here at 35. See if we can bust through this player at 35. Nobody wants to take him out yet. There's a 15 lot, 17 lot. Seeing if we can get through them. 35s are resilient here. There might be a bigger player than we see here on 35s, a little hidden buyer there. So we have to get a harsh rejection through that. SPY is showing that it wants to break below the 50 here. So 476.50 would be the level that I want to see encroachment on in the SPY specifically. Looking over at the E-mini. E-mini, we do have the S&P. We have 28.25 being bid right now. And if we break below that 28.25, we should get speedy to the downside as well. And then the ask side, the protection we want to see on the ask side is up and through 40s. We want to see heavy asks up through 40s here. So watching for a couple different things and keeping in mind that we do have liquidity injection coming in about 15 minutes here. 15 to 20 minutes, we will see liquidity injection here in these markets. So keeping a keen watch on all of these things. SPY right now, a little small baby bounce there at the 50 EMA. So we have to keep a lookout for that. So if they stuff these 40s, I'd be pretty keen on believing in this short here. Apple also has room to the downside as well. So if they flush these 40s, this is actually be quite nice. I want to see if I can also nail this in my other Express account. It's hard to manage 2 accounts at once. I'll probably just stick to the one here. Strangle is loving this downside push. Very, very nice. Multi-leg option strategy there from Michael. Relatively new here. Seems like you enjoy trading pre-market. Oh yeah, definitely. Trading pre-market can offer some great opportunities. If you're patient, you have to be patient for those opportunities. So watching here, do we break back down these 38s? Little small bounce there from SPY at the 50. And we are seeing a little bounce from Amazon as well. However, Microsoft and Apple a little bit droopy here. We just need to break through this player at 35, and this thing should slam through this inefficiency block to the downside here. So watching for that. This player at 35, if we can get them to boogie on out. If we kind of find this firmness at 35 and nobody's willing to sell through this player, then good chance that we could potentially bounce here. So SPY again, cresting on this 50. Apple looking very heavy, but this 35 player is stacked. How's that player doing on 28 there on the S&Ps? He's sitting at the same 200 lots there. So a little bit of double bottom there at 35s. SPY is still showing a little bit of weakness here. And again, if NQ was too fast for you, this is this is the best time to be trading NQ when it's slow like this. If the NQ was ever too quick for you, because this is moving tremendously slow. But yeah, if we get through this 35 player, test at the 30s will be very interesting. The inefficiency block goes all the way down to 33. So if we're breaking all the way down below 35, breaking that 33, there's a good chance we'll see some massive inducement to the downside there into that bullish order block, which starts at 28. So a little bit of room here. Yeah, this is moving. NQ is moving like the normal ES day. Exactly right. So keeping our watch to on the time because we know that we're going to have liquidity jumping in here. We want to probably either have resolution on the trade or at least trim our size in anticipation for that incoming volatility here. So there's that 35 test once again, knocking on the door of 35 here. Can we get that clean break of 35? There's big bidders just loving this 35 right now. They're throwing a good mess of lots at them. So let's see if we can actually get that clean snap through 35 here. Oh, they moved. Somebody sidestepped 35s here because they're going on the ask. So sometimes you'll see that if you're seeing bids actively being pulled, let's say at like 35 there, and then you see basically what was on the bid going into the ask and they're pushing that price back up. That's generally just somebody probably closing their position. They just don't want to wait for the price to touch any longer there. So that's usually how you can read a move like this. This is nice too. This is like reading tape in slow motion here. Just had a 20-point winning short, then realized it was my practice account. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a bummer. Always check the account that you're in. Always, always, always check the account that you're in there. NQ and ES are having a Freaky Friday moment. Well, I mean, that player on the ES needs to boogie on out. He's at 28.25 there. That's the seller or the buyer that they need to get through. Now bidder stepping up 35.25 here in the NQ. We are still not breaking the 50 on the SPY, so that is of concern right now. Still not breaking that 50 EMA to the downside here. Apple is encroaching on its 50 EMA as well here. Change the color scheme on your practice account so you always know. That's some really good advice, actually. You can actually change the color scheme. So when you are trading your practice account, you can actually see that. So we have some liquidity coming in right there at the 10 minutes of the hour. So I expect that we're going to have a lot of machines turning on right around 9:25 or 9:20. So a little bit of liquidity coming in there. Kind of want to make a market on my other XFA, but we'll see. So this is pushing up here. My stop's at 44.25. I could actually move it just around to the top of that, 45.5. And I'm seeing some aggressive selling coming in here. Kind of want to take some on my second XFA here. Just watching here at these 40s. And we'll go back to the same one. Keep wanting to take a second to open up a second position here, but we'll just keep it cool on one account for now. I didn't know liquidity will be coming in 10 minutes. It's generally speaking, that's how they run the futures algorithms. They turn them on 9:20, 9:25. 9:25 usually a big injection of liquidity. So yeah, it's just the way that these markets are made. This is how the liquidity is provided for these markets. They turn on these liquidity providers from all these different institutions or banks at certain periods of time, quarter of the hour, bottom of the hour, and then usually 5 minutes before the open is at 9:25. So make sure that you have taken your restroom breaks, folks. It is almost 9:15 here, which means we have about 15 minutes till the market opens. Question, Rips, when you're at full boat, how do you scale out? I can't do it. I get a message saying I've exceeded contracts. Is that in Combine or XFA? I would reach out. What platform are you using over there, Fallen? It might be a platform issue that you're running into there. 50K has about the same ratio to drawdown with 50K and micros. Interesting. Maybe if I have a lot of open orders, you must have more limit orders set if you're on Trade Ovate. So there's some advice there from two folks in the Discord there. On NinjaTrader, maybe you have an open order there on NinjaTrader? Any kind of open orders? I trade with ATM strategies, and so maybe that has something to do with it. But you shouldn't be running into that issue. I don't think that should be something that you're running into there. So Apple, a little bit of a bounce from the 50. SPY is still testing that 50 flush on the EMA. If we get that flush at the 35s here in the NQ, we will see some fireworks to the downside. But again, have to keep our caution flag out here as we are getting closer and closer to that 9:25 hour here. And as this is pushing up, I am losing a little bit of a confidence in our position here. I want to see 40s being sold. I want to see aggressive asks at 40 here, 41, 42, 43. I want to see large players capping that off and selling that. The more that we see bidders kind of stepping up in this area, the less confidence that I have in this trade here. We're just literally holding the 50 on the SPY right now. So not much happening in the way of this flush continuing for now. So let's see. We'll probably have a little burst of volume too above 43. And that could actually stop us out. Our stops at 45.5. Some liquidity providers coming on right there. Just came on. So that might actually give us a little push below 40 again. They are flashing around. It's so funny when you see these large bands of market makers and they have no intention of taking the price, but they kind of flash it around anyway to get the market jostling around. But, you know, it's if you're newer to Bookmap, it can kind of throw you off and it can kind of interfere with how you're interpreting what's happening on your screen. So it's something to watch out for. So they are trying to sweep above here into 43 or so. Had some large asks there up at 42 3/4. A little bit of a green candle there from SPY, just kind of holding at that 476.62 is where I have my 50 EMA for the SPY right now. So if we are breaking below that, we're encroaching down below 476.5. We break 476.5 again, this thing will be curtains to the downside here. So that's what we're watching out for. NASDAQ is always pushing. Yeah, it feels like that for the last however many sessions, right? But we did, just to look at TradingView here, we did jump into that inefficiency, and we have, on the 15-minute at least, we have a wick rejection here on that 15-minute right here. Big old wick rejection. And we are kind of seeing that not act as the inducement to the downside, because right here, when you have a gap between inefficiency and a bullish order block like this, usually you'll have some inducement that will exist that will bring the price down tremendously violent. But the more bidders that are stepping up in this area, the more difficult that it can become here. 476.62 is the 50 EMA for the SPY right now. And 476.50 is that encroachment to the downside. We were kind of holding that area into the close yesterday on SPY and into the aftermarket hours, into the after hours trade. So if we are actually breaking below that, we do have some stops to be popped. And like I said, it would be curtains below that level if we can actually break below that level there. So we might get stopped out here. Our stop is at 45.5. This thing might run right back up and hold these 43s. So just watching here. See if we get stopped out at all. More liquidity providers coming on right there. It's funny because the bids right now, the bids that are being placed into the order flow, anybody who's stepping up with a bid, they're doing it very, very small. So somebody somewhere is trying to cover a larger short and they're not providing liquidity to the bid side. There's enough liquidity providers on right now that it's not affecting the market all too much. But if that same player who wants to get filled on the bid aggressively starts selling into this market, we could see that tremendous push down. So watching here, right at 43.5 is kind of where that level is, where if we're going to have a rejection at the point, that's where it's going to be. If we're going to blast above that, we would sweep liquidity high. I would say as high as let's say 46 and a quarter. My stop's at 45 and a half. 46 and a quarter was the hourly high. I guess I could tease that just a little bit more. 46 and a half, I suppose. 46 and 3/4. Do inefficiency blocks sometimes act as resistance? Yes, absolutely. If we repaint that area of inefficiency and we found all of the missing pieces of that, in this case, it would be sellers. If we found all the counterparties to the trades that were missed the first time, then yeah, obviously it can be missed there. We're right at the midnight opening price. Exactly. How do you know that the liquidity providers are coming in? You can see it on the book map specifically, where you can see the bids and the asks, the bids and the offers. You can see when those numbers are changing, they're increasing. So there's more liquidity providers coming on, providing more liquidity for the market. So we have about 2.5 minutes now until 9:20. We should see a jump of liquidity at that time here. So that's what we're going to be watching out for. It's starting to get kind of poppy here. And we'll see if we can, yeah, there you go. There's those big pops. Probably get stopped out here. 46 and 3/4. Yeah, they're starting to come in hot and heavy now. So we had a big bounce there off the SPY, off that 50 EMA. We're looking for that breakdown trade, that 50 EMA flush on the SPY. And unfortunately, we just didn't get that resolution. So it's pretty likely we're going to get stopped out here. And I think that's what, 2 losing trades, 3 losing trades to kick off our Thursday here. Or not, maybe. Maybe we come back down here. Good thing that I moved my stop just above that hourly high, because we did have that wick encroachment there. Have I already traded in stop and reverse mode? No, I haven't. There's a way that you can set that up with your ATM strategy, but I have not used that myself, no. But, you know, it can get expensive too if you're constantly reversing, right? It can get very, very expensive. Everyone tell it to stop you out quick. Yeah. No, we'll have to see. I mean, we might actually, by moving our stop there a little bit higher, it might have saved our position here. So they were seeking that liquidity. But again, I just need to see SPY flushing that 476.63. I don't have a lot of confidence in this trade, but we're just going to let it work and play out how it does here. I am happy that we didn't put on a second position in my second XFA here, because that would have doubled our losses on this one. So there's a seller stepping in a little bit, but liquidity coming on here in 1 minute. 1 minute now. So let's see, can we flush through 40s here? There should be some bidders at 40. If we can break through that, careening back down towards, look at that, beautiful. Hey, how about that? That's nice. That was very close to stopping us out there. And again, it might still come back and stop us out because we have that 920 liquidity coming. So we'll have to see. We're going to leave our stop in place there. I'm looking for 40 to have that encroachment to the downside. 40 encroachment equals that we'll get back down to that 35, test that 35, potentially be working our position down through those 30s there. So that's what we have on the table here. We have to break through this 40 player first. And we're cutting it close. 10 seconds here, 10 seconds. This is going to be the 920 liquidity here, 5 seconds. Okay, they did go sell side, but there was a chunky bidder there at 40. So there's that little pop of liquidity. Do we find sellers that want to take out these 40 players? How big of a boy was that? That was a 200 lot there. Yeah, bidders are firming up there at the 40s. A little moving and shaking. One of my rules is never trade pre-market. Yeah, get in where you fit in. You know, everybody's different. Just get in where you fit in. So let's see if they bid up these 40s, if we take out these 40s or not. I might end up going flat here, but let's see. Watching the rest of the components here of the NAS. This is definitely one of the slowest sessions that we've had for the NQ. Nice and relaxing. Very slow session here. Can we take out 40s? Let's see. 10, 11, 12, 11 lot, 10 lot. And there's a bidder there, 39 3/4. So yeah, Treasury is going to be hot today. That's going to be the hot ticket since we don't really have anything in the way of news. So we might have a very docile open, have an open here, and then kind of slow down and pump the brakes. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure you're slamming that lucky like button before we get into the open here. We have about 9 minutes till the open. If we get over 250 likes, we will stream into the open, and we are at 283. You folks did it. We did it. Let's see here. I might actually reduce my size if we're going to be holding these 40s here. Watching. If we're holding 40s, I got to reduce my size, even though I could end up getting a sweep to the downside here. Just want to protect our equity here. They're still kind of they keep on trying to push up, and somebody's catching those orders here up at 41 and a quarter. This reminds me of when I used to trade a lot of small caps. This is the type of movement you'd have to just be laser focused on here. Watching. Seller coming in again. Can we take out these 40s? Nobody's showing aggression. Way too slow. My momentum play does not work well in this condition. Yeah, this is going to teach you patience more than anything. This will teach you the most amount of patience that you'll ever experience, is having this type of slow market. And allows you to see things a lot more clearly if you're not used to having, if you're not used to watching tape or paying attention to that. Did you trade small caps? Oh yeah. During COVID time? Oh yeah. That was the good stuff. That was the hot ticket. And then the market kind of dried up for it, and still a couple folks out there still haven't figured that one out. And yeah, small caps now. It's you're at the mercy of the market makers and the people who are running those books, and they're doing it in a shady way. Covering too. I'm going out there. All right, so that's going to put us at here. That's going to put us at on the day negative 678. And that's off of 3 losing trades. We're containing our losses here, if anything, in this very slow market. So on that burst up, I just wanted to come out of that trade there because it's not really resolving in our direction that we're taking it. So coming out of that trade, definitely recovered what we were a little bit there, which is, if you're wrong, you don't want to stay wrong. You want to wait for opportunities. If we would have kept on the trade, we would have probably lost another $300 there. We'd be down almost $1,000. So protecting what we can on that as much as we can there. So going into the open here in the red, but we don't think about where we're at on the trade. We don't think about whether or not we're green or red on the day. Obviously, we want to pay attention to our trailing drawdown, but for the most part, we just want to be focused on taking good trades if there are any. Mickey Mick says, we all know you will turn this around and agree. Hey, you never know. We'll see. We'll have to see here. I'll try my best. Is this market really worth trading? Well, when we have that lack of reaction on the jobs print, that could kind of be your clue in to say, absolutely not, probably not worth it. But there is a level of tradertainment that I do have to provide here. And I do want to be taking trades, but I'm taking small trades, right? We did 3 losses. We're losing about $200 some odd a trade here. So it's not like we're putting a lot on the line. We're just, we're chipping away. We're trying to put on some trades and see if we can get some nice resolution here. I think off the open, there might be an opportunity or two. We did pan out into this inefficiency here. We did hold that inefficiency. We have a very, very large bottoming wick there. We're holding above 43.5 here. So, it does look like a long from here. We do have sort of that bounce from the 50 as well. So I just want to see if we have any kind of aggression here coming in the next 20 seconds at 9:25. Second holiday season for me. Last year kind of was just getting started with all the combine eval accounts. This year, blown funded accounts. Lesson learned, sometimes the best trading is not trading. Yes, not trading is the best. It's honestly, if you're over trading, you're ending up, blowing accounts, and you can't, you're blowing your wide. Okay, so there's the 925 liquidity, by the way. You can see this on the book map. Coming back down to the downside there. So some sell side. But again, we're in a very tight range. Let's wait for the open and see if we have any opportunities here off the open. Don't want to rush anything. If we end our day down $678, that's how we end our day. It's no big deal. We move on to the nenext session, which will be tomorrow. We don't have any good trades tomorrow. And we come back Tuesday ready to take some fantastic trades. I do think that the market does have some topside room here, given that we are kind of buying up every single dip here. So I am kind of leaning towards the long side here, but we might sweep liquidity right here off the open. And we are coming back into this balance area here, into the middle of this block. Big buyers are stepping up. Big bounce there from SPY right now. Big bounce from Apple, Microsoft. NVIDIA is a little bit weak, but we do have strength out of Amazon, Microsoft, and Tesla right now. What is the 150K drawdown? It is the $3,000 maximum daily loss limit. That is it. I despise that tradertainment idea. I'd rather see you trade well day in, day out. I prefer edutainment. Yeah, I try to do a little mix of both. And again, this is why I'm trading smaller size, and I'm trading it to show, you can't have losing days. How do you manage yourself through losing days? How do you manage yourself through losing trades? I think there's benefit in that too, because if you're seeing somebody that's only taking winning trades and you're having trouble and you're feeling alone, you got to understand that there's losing trades. Losses are going to happen. I'm not taking garbage trades. I did believe in a lot of these trade ideas here. We did take 3 trades, and unfortunately, We were right slightly on a couple of them, but did not close in the green on those. Did you work on a radio or TV? I didn't. You know, I get that question a lot, but I didn't. I just, I really enjoy streaming. I enjoy audio, video. I'm kind of a technophile, you know, I like that kind of stuff. So this kind of all plays into all of the things that I like. Artie says, I love your transparency, coach. Sub and thumbs up. Yeah, we're going to have red days from time to time. Let's see. Hopefully we don't make it a deeper red day. We'll try our best here off the open, see if there's any trades. Understanding that there's not a lot of opportunities today. Remember, trading is all about those moments in time. If you don't capture a good moment, you miss that moment forever. There's no reason trying to chase it. So let's see if we can have some good moments here off the open and see if we can have any nice trades here. I want to see SPY pushing up over the VWAP. 477.01 is the VWAP I have for the SPY. I'd like to see that, and I'd also like to see Apple and Microsoft pushing up here, kind of enjoining each other. 193.78 is the current price of Apple, but if we get above 194, there is a lot of blue sky room to the top side there on Apple. If you're looking at the order book, the way that they're stacking it right now, it's very bid heavy. So I do expect that we might dip down into support and get a nice trade to the top side there, but we'll trade it as it lies here. We'll trade it as it lies. Morning Goat, the best, addicted to your life. Thank you so much. Love that. Love that. What indicator am I using? This is just the hourly high, hourly low. And I have that custom made for me. I'm sure you can get a free one out there on NinjaTrader. They have a bunch of free ones available. You have a good radio voice. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oh, and Cass, I responded to your comment about whether or not that the shorts were from today. We have time. Yeah, it's the shorts. You know, I have an editor that edits my shorts together and tries to make them entertaining. There's nothing I can do to push out shorts same day, so I try to get them out as soon as possible. You're asking whether or not the short was showing the NQ trading at 15,000 and. You're like, that's not from today. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have an AI edit all of my videos and push them out sooner, but usually it's like a 1 or 2 week lag on those. So we try to get those out as soon as possible. I appreciate everyone's patience. Morning, Rip, and to everyone else in here. Good morning, Omar. Good to see you. I'm tired of this push. I want blood in the streets. We'll see, Carl. Could be your day. We'll see. All right, folks, 1 minute here, 1 minute until the party gets started. Make sure you're calm, cool, and collected. Make sure you take those bathroom breaks. If you haven't already, run to that bathroom real quick. It's time to trade here. We are right now holding below the 50s. We couldn't even get above the 50s there. So let's see if we can get some nice trades here off the open. We'll hide the total P&L for now so that if we take some trades, we can see the active P&L in the trades here. Yeah, big imbalance there at 150. So if we are crossing above 150, we have room all the way up to the 6. I mean, this range is just so funny. Very, very small range, very tight range. 30 seconds here, folks, 30 seconds. Remember, no data out until 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we have the pending home sales, which may or may not move the market all that much. Reached my profit target in the combine. Happy with my first day. Hey, there you go. Nice work there, Mike. Way to go. Apple's super strong here. I'm seeing a lot of strength in tech. 2 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Little pull down to the downside here. Seeing if we are going to... I'm going to take that long. We're breaking above 50s. Adding into that for that break and hold above 50s for now. Very nice push up to the top side. Watching for 60 encroachment. Bid stacks are coming in, but will we sweep them? Find out next on the Market Clubhouse YouTube Live. Coming up to the 60s. Can we break 60s? Apple's super strong here. Mag 7 looking very strong. So we want to break above this 58 into the 60s. Above 60s, we should get some price action there to the top side. So watching this ever so closely. Right now, not holding that that level that we want to see. Want to see this holding above the 50s. So a little bit of a flash down here. I want to have my stop a little bit lower. So let's see if we can get back above the 50s. Very rinsy, very washy. Back above 55, now looking for 60 to the top side. Dip and a rip. Can we get that across the board here? Still holding 55, but a little bit of a struggle. Some asks coming in overhead, a little bit dubious. I don't like to see that here. Let's see above 58. Can we crest above 58? We're tapping, we're wicking. Yeah, still some trouble right there, that 55 area. Not enough buyers to get us through that level for now. Just kind of rinsing and washing here. Sellers coming through, but it's interesting. I'm not seeing anything that should be causing that in the Mag 7. So I want to keep my stop where it is, a little bit wider. Seeing if we can crest back above this 55 area. A lot of pressure coming in. Amazon's really the only one that should be adding pressure to the NQ here. So we should be breaking up to the top side. Just based on the Mag 7 here. SPY is strong too. NVIDIA, a little bit of weakness from NVIDIA. Is that where all the volume is right now? No, we do have volume from other players here. So watching and watching. Can we hold these low 45s and get back above 55, touch that 58 and start screaming towards 60? That's what we're looking for here. So a little liquidity grab towards the 40s. You remember in the pre-market, this 40 area was definitely of contention here. Stops at 36. Are we going to get tagged here? Bring it down. And stopped out there, I think. Yep, stopped out. Ended up getting stopped out there. So definitely taking a loss there. Did have liquidity sweeping low. The only ones that are really going down in the Mag 7 here are Amazon and NVIDIA. So if we do see a turn out of Apple, we could see some more pain. We are just painted up into this inefficiency here. Looking over at TradingView, we are just painted up into that inefficiency right now. If we are going to be bouncing, the lower end of this inefficiency is right down at 33. I'm not seeing anything that's signifying that we would get inducement down that level, so I'm still looking for a long-sided trade here. Watching here at 40s. Looking across the board here, yeah, it's still weak, but it's interesting because there's not really much signifying that we should be all this weak here. Volume is a little bit lower than what we'd like to see. If I see weakness from Apple or Microsoft, I wouldn't mind taking this short. But we're coming down to this bullish order block now. Right here, you can see there's that bullish order block. This is kind of the trade we're looking for in the pre-market, but I'm not seeing, the thing that's funny is that I'm not seeing much weakness out of the Mag 7 here. Okay, watching for any kind of bounce here. Pulling back from SPY. We'll try a short here. If we could break 25, the lower end of this bullish order block is resting right at 18. So if we break 18s, we could potentially break hundreds. So trying this one here at 25, big hole number here. Watching to see if we have that perpetual weakness. SPY is, you know, it's holding up here, but again, I'm surprised because we're not seeing confluence across the board here. So seeing if we can break these 25s. Not, I'll boogie on out. Not a lot of weakness though. Google is weak here, Amazon weak, NVIDIA weak. Now we're seeing Tesla roll over a touch, but Meta, Microsoft, and Apple still holding. So let's see if we can actually crest below this area or not. And we dipped right into that bullish order block. We tapped it. We are coming back up here. Yeah, SPY super strong, but see if we can hold below the 40s. I want to actually move this up 41.25 here. So testing back down at this 25. That was generally a pretty weak bounce. So if SPY kind of runs out of steam here, Microsoft starts to fail, we could see this actually turn to a nice profitable trade and get that inducement to that bullish order flow that we're looking for below here. So again, bullish order block, the lows of that we're looking to break at 118.25. About 10 handles below from where we're trading right now. So we could get that pressure to the downside. We will see that. 25. Can we get through this bidder? Nobody wants to slam those 25s just yet. Microsoft, a little bit of a slam below the VWAP there. SPY still kind of holding this area. Very rinsy, very washy. So this is a big area. This 25 area, if we actually get a flush below 25, be very confident in this position. But we just need to have that strong pull below 25 here. That's what we're looking for. So strong pull below 25 invites us back down to that 118 level. 118 would be a nice flush area, be a big catalyst for a flush to the downside here. So Microsoft, very, very weak. Google, weak as well. I want to see confluence cross board. If Apple started to fail strong here, we could see a break below this 25 area. So just watching here. A little bit of aggression, but they're holding these 25s for now. And big bid stack coming up towards that 25 area. Let's see if we have anybody selling and stepping up into those sellers here. Big encroachment into 25, but will they hold these bids? Very low liquid in this environment. It really just takes one player to push onto this 25 player and really just flush it down here. So watching for that weakness to persist right here at this level. If we have that confluence right at this level and we do get that breakdown, what do we see in the bids for 36 here? Bidder there at 36. So there's that 25 test. Can we get the confident pull through 25 now? Very, very nice. Looking for 20s now. Big bidder stepping up right there at 20. A lot of covers, it looks like. Short covering there at the 20s. Google is fading. If SPY starts to give up here, we want to see 25 again. This is that big area. We want to see 25 being sold. There's some buyers that stepped in anticipating that 20 draw. Rips, we want you to be the one big player who can actually push it. Yeah, we're not trading our live. We're still trading in our XFA account here. So let's see if we can actually get this confident draw into the downside here. This bullish order block is holding, but again, we're looking for that 118 encroachment to the downside. If that starts to give out, then we would definitely see this kind of failing to the downside here. So watching these 25s again. Yeah, it was definitely a nice draw of liquidity right below 25 into the 20s. 5-handle draw of liquidity, but they are, again, they're stacking the ass up towards 30. They really are. This is sort of like a market maker session again. Very low liquidity, low volatility for now. Let's see if we can actually stuff these orders to the top side. Seeing some big players stuffing 30s right now. Microsoft is starting to turn around though, so that is an area of concern that I want to be watching. Seeing if they're going to sell these 30s or not. And the top of that inefficiency is resting right at 33. So we want to see sellers stepping in at that 33 level. Amazon off a cliff. Nvidia has recovered a touch. Apple is kind of waffling around here. Amazon's off a cliff completely here, by the way. Decent amount of volume too. Completely off a cliff. So pending home sales are going to be out here in 20 short minutes. That can definitely stir volatility, but I don't expect a lot of effect there on the NQ. So watching here, can we sell these 30s? Now buyers stepping up at the 28s. So that definitely is of concern. If we have Tesla breaking below 262, 263 here, could potentially see that fading. SPY off to the races, Google to the downside. We have Meta pulling back just a touch here. So we're back up towards the top end of that inefficiency. Like I said, we want to see 33s become sellers here. If this is a weak bounce, then we're in business for another leg down here below the 20s. Definitely would be testing those 20s again. So watching here. Nice pullback down right below 30. Liquidity grab up towards 33. Can we break below the point of control right now, resting at 28? That is the question. See if we can encroach back down through this 25 area. Big buyers stepping in right now, 29 and 30. See if we encroach down to the downside here, getting that 25 back on the table. Still have buyers holding the price here at point of control. If we rip through them, we haven't shown a strong bounce yet. It's still somewhat of a weak bounce. So we should have some chunkier players stepping in and selling these 28s. So watching here, right at the point of control. Can we get any chunky sellers here watching the tape? Big area of volume just going off here. People are just making the market here at the 28s, 29s, and 30s. How about some free reset? No. We don't need free resets. They're going to be doing a fire drill, by the way, in Top Step on Top Step TV. They're going to be doing a fire drill pretty soon, I believe. And I think it's next week, if somebody can correct me on that. I think it's on January the 3rd. I think that they're going to be doing that. So the day after we come back. January 3rd. Thank you for that. Yeah, we are pushing down, testing these 30s again. The longer that we're pushing at this level without breaking, the more, and not really having these big bounces, the more likely it is we'll chop in this area for a hot minute. We do have those the home sales that are coming out in 18 minutes. Seeing if we can test 25s again. That's where my eyeballs are looking for. We're looking for a 25 test here, and we want to see that liquidity being not swept at 25, but a confident push through that liquidity. We want to see actual sellers there on the tape. Volume is tremendously low here, by the way. If you're looking over at my Ninja Trader here, you can see volume is tremendously low here. What is a fire drill? Fire drill is when Top Step gives away some free goodies if you tune into Top Step TV. That is what a fire drill is. So you're saying YOLO the account today sounds good. No, absolutely not. Never YOLO your account. No. Never do that. So can we encroach on those 25s again? Very, very difficult getting through this area. There's a lot of sludge, a lot of market sludge in this area because we had a lot of volume being contracted this area. Apple perking up here. I don't like to see that. Amazon off a cliff. SPY just kind of waffling about in this area for now. Okay, through 25 is getting this 20 test again on the table. big bidder stepping up right there at 22. Somebody's very hungry for this low 20s area. Super hungry bid side for these 20s, but if we can break through that, we could pop a stop below 20 and this would get tremendously heavy. It's interesting because there's a huge player here. When I'm saying huge in this market, it doesn't take a lot to be a huge player, but there's somebody stepping up, about 200 lots or so that's stepping up into the bid there between 20 and 22. And they're taking a lot of this liquidity. And so we want to keep that we want to commit that to memory and know that there's clearly a player there that's trying to buy these 20s. Do they want to just only do a flip up to 35 and then take it lower? There's that flush through 118 that we're looking for. Now let's see if we can just hold that below the 20s now without a vehement bounce to the top side. Just seeing, we hit 117. You can see here, that's bullish order block. We wanted to see that go below 118 and we got that little flash below. So we're just holding. Travis says, I'm the big player. Well, welcome, Travis. Good to have you here in the clubhouse with us. Really appreciate you being here. So there's a quarter of the hour liquidity, 9:45 liquidity injection. I want to see more sellers stepping in here right at these 20s. And I don't want to see these bidders stepping up. Just let it go. Let that price go. When you're talking to the market, you've been trading for too long. When you start talking to the market. But yeah, we do want to see right now, I want to see this draw all the way down to 108. That's my target on this. So 12 small handles from where we are now. That's where I want to see this market drawing down to. But right now, like I said, we have this big player that's been stepping in around these 20s, a big bidder that's been stepping in, buying up a lot of this liquidity. So we have to imagine that his goal is likely to swap it around 30s or 35s, if not higher. He's going to have a lot of sludge to get through at these 30s. So I don't know if they're going to be pushing on that. He or she, whoever this person is, they, them. So I'm just trying to watch them kind of develop here on the tape and try to get a feel for what their idea is. It doesn't look to me like they're covering a short here. It looks to me like they're actually building up a long position below these 20s here, which I don't want to see being short in this, right? That's not what I want to be seeing. SPY kind of pushing back above the VWAP here. Big bounce from Amazon as well. Still capping off some sellers there at 30s. So that could be that person's goal there from 17 flipping up to 30s, making a market. Somebody's flashing 25s again, so let's see if we could break down below these 25s. Use the right pronoun. Them, whoever they are. They, the crazy person who is bidding up 17s, dumping on 30s. So watching 25s again here. We're just nested in this bullish order block, looking for any of these players to skitter away from us here. These 25s down to 20s, these bidders are very, very strong here. And it's just taking us a lot of liquidity to flush down through them here. Next target, 105. Yeah, I'm looking at 108 and a quarter for our downside target here. And just trying to be patient and let this develop. See if the new home sales kind of move the price action around for us as well. The Royal Dim. If you're yelling at the market, you're doing it right. You must have a passion for your craft. Yeah, exactly. So let's see if we get this a fail back down through the 25s. Big bidders still stepping up here. We just don't have the sell side strength to flush through them yet. All they need to do is sidestep and understand that they can get a much better value for the NQ down there at 105. Somebody ought to tell these folks that it's going to be on sale if they just move out of the way. So back flushing down to the 20s here. Nice selling coming through. They are sidestepping. Maybe they heard me. Some of those bidders, those folks there are sidestepping there. And watching on a little bit of a bounce. Very thin liquidity being provided either way right now, up and down. Apple coming back down a little bit. Meta trending down, Microsoft as well. So if we get a little knock on the door at SPY, I'm looking for SPY to fail these 477 evens. If we get a knock on the door to the downside, we could see that flushacito come in that we're looking for. I feel like I'm trading the ES right now, by the way. This is what it feels like to trade the ES. You get a lot of time of observation time in the tape, but not really my cup of tea when we don't get resolution either way. A lot of consolidation. If this is the best day of the week, then I skip tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, my read was way wrong on that one. This is not the. This is probably the worst price action of the entire week. I was way off on that one. Yeah, bidders showing up there, 22s, 23s. All right, Google coming down, Amazon coming down, Nvidia coming down. It's very interesting. When we had all of these perking up, NQ was coming down. Now that they're all turning around and coming down, NQ's like, wait a second, I want to hold these 20s for a hot minute. There we go, coming down a little bit. Below 20s, can we make new low of day here? I'm telling you, these bidders, they ought to know that they can get a cheaper price on the NQ if they just take a break. Take a little bathroom break here. That's all they need to do. Give us a nice little bathroom flush here. So let's see if we can hold below 20s now. This is the big test of whether or not we can hold this liquidity below the 20s here and start flushing lower. 115s might cause a little drama. So watching closely here, back to the 120s. They say, sorry, we want to buy that. We want to buy those 20s. We really love those 20s. Oh, just waffling around here. I wish we traded the ES every day. Oh, this isn't the ES. I'm sorry. Oh man, this is not my instrument today. Ruski up $4,500 for the day. I'm gonna take a break until later in the afternoon. Were you that bitter there, Ruski? Zor is taking profits at 120. Nice trade there, Zor. Very, very nice. Jonathan says, I'm an ES trader and it's slow. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I'm only cracking jokes, but yeah, this is quite slow indeed. Let's see if we get some sweeping resolution to the downside here. We got to get through 115s now. That's the next punch list item here. We want to be confidently below 118, and that will be seen through a flush below 115s here. I want to see SPY confidently below the VWAP as well. We are 10 minutes away from those new home sales. Or is it pending home sales? Let's see here. It is pending home sales. So 10 minutes out from the pending home sales here. We're just trying to be patient in this short 3-hole lots on here. much wow, so volume. Yeah, exactly. Looks like it took the 4 hours liquidity. Well, it definitely painted that inefficiency back through, and we are rejecting off of it for now. First time trading the open with you, Rips. Thanks for sharing your skills to us newbies. Hey, thanks for being here, Tracy. Really appreciate you. I enjoy this, folks. I really do. I enjoy spending time with you folks every single morning. Have a lot of fun doing this. So let's see if we can crash here below the 15s and then start tickling into that 108 and a quarter there. 108 and a quarter. Are we below order block now? Yeah, we're tickling below it here. That's the kind of inside of it, tickling below it. 118 and a quarter is where we want to flush below. So testing, looking for lows here, but it's so slow, this price action. There's such little liquidity. We do need to see some stops being popped. We need to see some give up from one side here. So let's see if we can actually break through 115s here without getting massive covering. You have to understand, on low liquidity like this, some folks have market orders to cover. And so when we touch like 115s, they have a market order that goes off. The market makers know that. They sidestep, they catch it on the ask side and sell it lower. And so, you'll see these 115s being tagged, and we'll see probably a burst of momentum to the top side because stops and profit covers are kind of going off there. Buy stops. There you go. There it is. That's kind of what we'll see. But we'll see market makers kind of stepping in and taking the other side of that liquidity because they see the market going lower here. SPY still confidently below VWAP for now. Back here at the good old 20s. And very thin liquidity either way here. Very thin. Either which way you're looking at it. Very thin on either side. I might actually get up and get another Celsius here. We have 8 minutes now. 7.5 minutes until that market data comes out here. The pending home sales for November. Very laggard in the data department there. Very laggy data. Haven't seen those in Canada yet, the Celsius. Oh, they're amazing. They're delicious. Even though we run off Celsius. Yeah, exactly. Do you ever move your stop up? Yeah, I do from time to time, but where it's at right now is kind of where I like this in case we get a push of price action up into 35s, because we can reject 33s, and I just want to make sure that if we're rejecting 33s, that I have enough wherewithal to take that push, that we'd have stops being popped above 33 there. So is Celsius more healthy than a Red Bull? Celsius doesn't have any sugar in it. That's why I like it. No sugar in Celsius. There is sugar in Red Bull. So for me personally, that's why I like drinking Celsius. No sugar in that. New to this channel and trading too? Welcome there, JM. Good to see you. Peach Vibe. Yeah, Peach Vibe is good. It's good stuff. Very thin pancakes. Does your top step discount work for resets or just new accounts? On your very first new account, you get half price resets. So I think that either free reset or half price reset. I want to say it's a half price reset on your very first account. But other than that, they're discounted 60% from where they were originally. So $99 for 100K. Well, $49 for a 50K, $99 for 100K, or $149 for a 150K. I trade 150K accounts because the drawdown rules are much more advantageous for the style that I trade. Free reset for the first. Okay, good to know that, Peace Guy. Thank you. All right, just about 5 minutes out from that data here. Let's see if we can have some more downside pressure in this market here. SPY is back above the VWAP, but the components of the NAS are trending to the downside here. If Microsoft did break below 374.5, we'd like to see that, as well as 193.5 in Apple there. So those are the key levels that I'd be watching for that on that. Point of control just moved down here to the 22 level, 122 on the NAS here. So a lot of liquidity, like I said, being conducted, a lot of business being conducted here at these 20s. Somebody is definitely buying up these 20s here for now. Shan Hacks in the Discord says, I'm about to take this position off. This is brutal price action. I feel like I'm trading forward. I feel like we're trading Intel. If you've ever traded Intel before. Yeah, Intel. That's got to be one of the worst trader stocks out there. So let's see if we can break below this 118, this coveted 118 area down here. I do appreciate you folks here hanging out with me this morning. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure you smash that lucky like button. Make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on so that you're notified anytime that we're going live in here. We're just looking for that break of a 118 to the downside. And the volume is so... I look over at volume. Look at this volume. Oh, this is tremendously low. So let's see if we get this resolution, this snap through 118. If we get that snap through 118, we'll probably take it off. And we'll call it a day here. Thank God you have a great voice because this trade is boring. I like your name, though, DJ. I like your name a lot there. Sign my petition. Bring small cap action back to NQ. Yeah, amen, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards closing this position. We'll see if, I kind of want to take the heat of leaving it on through the pending home sales, but we could get completely shreked in that position. So we'll have to see. I mean, it is still trending to the downside. All the components of the NAS are looking very heavy, very, very heavy here. So that's kind of what's keeping me in this position. But no participation makes it very hard to break through key levels. So right here, like at 117, there's a fella or lass sitting here with 60 lots. And that's just what they're showing here. And that Mr. or Mrs. sitting there is just kind of doing nothing. And they're going to sit there until they get filled, and it's going to, there, we filled them. Okay, but can we push lower is the question. And it doesn't look like we have one lot's too late. Hey, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of what I was talking about. When we hit that, looking at bookmap right above me, right here, when we hit that 15 right here, we're going to have people who are rushing to cover that short because they all are closing their shorts at 15. That's why you get that burst of volume back up to the top side there. So it's kind of like misleading. But yeah, there you have it. Please close so we can get the flush better. You got to go to the bathroom. I'll try, I just wanted to see us through that 115 level. And I think we still can get there as long as we find some covers here to the long side up these 20s. We put some people capping back on these shorts. We are 2.5 minutes now out from those pending home sales. Somebody's stacking bids again here at 22. Seeing if we can hold below these 20s. We want to see us holding below these 20s for now. Big buyers stepping in here. Somebody's jostling the tape around, which again, I think is pretty funny because most of the components of the Magnificent, all of the Magnificent 7 right now looking very, very top heavy and not a bounce out of anything other than Amazon right now. It's just the ES is trending up, so that's causing us a little bit of movement there to the top side. So a little bit of confluence there across the board. So can we break back below 22s here? Can we find sellers to get rid of these bidders? Let's see. We have 2 minutes now until the pending home sales are out. 2 minutes. We'll have to see if we can get a little bit of flushcito back down towards that 15 level. If we break 15, looking for that 108.25 target there to the downside. Yeah, it's still Magnificent 7 looking tremendously weak here. Tremendously weak. It's just, every time I look at the volume, I start cracking up because it's bad out there. It's bad. This volume. It leaves a lot to be desired, doesn't it? It really does. How come you peel off contracts instead of just closing your whole position at once? Well, because you can get more bang for your buck that way. And if I see something on the tape where I don't want to have as much risk on, then I can peel risk off and still let runners run and get paid on those runners, versus if I didn't let runners run, then I wouldn't be able to realize that extra cream on the top there. Yeah, somebody's selling 24s right now, which is good, but there's nobody selling to the bid. They're posted up on the offer at these 24s here. And there's a bidder at 22. Yeah, this is this is not the best price action here. We have 30 seconds now until that data comes out, and might end up closing pre-data in case we can get our face ripped off on this data here. It's looking to me like they might send this to the top side here. They'll look for any excuse, right? And it's also the top of the hour liquidity injection as well. So that's what we're watching for here. Looking for any sellers stepping in. Order book is cleared out completely. 5 seconds. Here we go, folks. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. They're trying to a little bit of sell side here. Trying a little bit. Minus 5.1% for the pending home sales for November. It is below the estimates. So I'm just watching the tape closely here. Are they going to sell these 25s now? Flat for month over month. 0.9% was the estimate, and negative 4.9% versus a 6.6% prior. So watching here at 25s. Are we going to sell these 25s and get back down below the 20s here? Some bidders stepping up. Very thin liquidity here. The big player at 22. Can we sell through that player at 22? Through 22s, back down to the 20s. Big player at the 20s there. You just have to have this momentum. Keep on pushing down. Watching SPY here as well. Big player there at 20 to the same person there from 20 to 22. Kind of supporting the bid for now. Let's see if we have enough sellers to push on through this player. Watching here closely. Do we get this encroachment for the 15, 17 snap there? Watching closely now. Watching. Big player there at 17. Can we push through that player at 17? Still somewhat weak. Watching SPY here as well. Mag 7 off a cliff here. But it's funny. Mag 7 was racing off the open and then we dumped. So, it's kind of doing the opposite for some reason what the Mag 7 is doing. But let's see if we can get this retest of 17 to the downside. Still back at these 20s here. Back at 25. So yeah, sweep liquidity, draw liquidity back down at 17. Might end up just closing the position and calling it a day here. So watching here at 25s. Are we sweeping this bidder at 24? Watching. Bidder at 24. Yep, we swept the bidder at 24. Can we hold below? Watching closely here. There's one market maker right now that is flipping between bid and ask. And they are trying to control this tape right now. So watching here, do they get this sweep up above at 27? Right here at the top of that order block now. Watching closely. Somebody's sidestepping this too, which is interesting. To the bid side, somebody keeps stepping out of the way. So I'm still going to hold this for now. Seeing if we flush back below these 25s now. We are just completely range bound for now. A little bit of bid out of Apple there. Tesla's coming down tremendously hard here. Player at 22, sweeping him or her. Do we get this flush back below? Watching closely now. That could have been a nice liquidity draw up towards 30, but it will be told to us through whether or not we flush 22s with confidence here. Watching closely. Yeah, it's very, very thin here. Very, very thin. Extremely, extremely thin. It's like a battle of 2 or 3 algorithms right now. So somebody's posturing and putting up a 70 lot here at 22. They're letting it rip to the top side. Somebody looking to catch liquidity at 27. Can we break this 22 player? This would be a lot if we could. Watching. 22 tagged. Can we flush below 22? Holding below 22 ever so slightly. Very, very thin. They're not even providing liquidity in a 2 or 3 handle range here. This is crazy. Extremely, extremely thin. Watching here again. 25 players. We're talking about a 3 handle range here that they're fighting over. There's literally 2 or 3 algorithms fighting over a 3 handle range here. So 22's flash below. We will touch 20s. And we will look to tap that 17 again. So watching here again at 22. And there's literally the spread on this right now is so bad. Watching here also if we have a flush in SPY, Apple's coming down slightly too. So watching here right at this 22 area. Nobody's wanting to sell into this 22 player for some reason. I mean, it's very, very low liquidity, of course. Watching here 22 test. Tap, tap, knock, knock. Who's there? It's Rips. It's Rips with his 3 lot position. Come down and pay me here. Come on down. Flush those 20s. 20 player firming up. Good golly. 20 player firming up a little bit here. Give it up, 20 player. We want to see those 17s. There we go. 18s coming in. I'm peeling off 2 in the bid there. I'm going to move my stop now. I've had about enough. So let's see. 17s, can you give out now? 17s, do you want to sell it? Looking for 17s to sell. Come on down to 17 town. There we go. There's that flush right below 15 that we're looking for. Of course, after we wait in that position for about 2 hours there and seeing if we get these covers in right here, 112. Can we 112 peaches and cream? We can do it in the shower. We can do it anywhere. 112. Let's see. Down to 110s. There's the 110s. Looking for 108 and a quarter now. Stacking it up here. 108 and a quarter. Watching. There's that 108 flush. Beautiful, beautiful flush there to the downside. I'm going to cover right there, folks. That's going to do it. Alrighty. Fun stuff. I've had about enough, though. But we've been streaming here for... Just set a top step time and trade record. Yeah, there we go. Say, hey, that was a lot of fun. We got the resolution we wanted. We were patient, but there we have it. So that was fun. But you know what? We're still going to end our day on the red note here. That's going to put us down on the day $1,100. We had one good winning trade, but out of that, we're still going to end the day red. But remember, we like to be transparent here. We like to be transparent. We don't want to be pulling the wool over your eyes and pretending that we're going to be trading in real time and then not show you the real time trades or trade in my real account off on one screen and then show you a practice account or a fake account and never tell you when I'm going in or out of a trade. It's all about transparency here, okay? It's all about transparency, and that's what we want to have here in the Market Clubhouse Discord, in the Market Clubhouse YouTube channel. That's what we want to do, folks. That's what we want to do. So that's going to lock it up here for me on YouTube. I will continue trading over in the Discord, see if we can get some nice resolution here to the downside. And I hope that everyone out there learned a thing or two today. We're ending our day down $1,200 here. We'll call it $1,200. Ending our day down $1,200. And again, as full transparency, I just want to show this. This is in our Express funded account here. This is not in some practice account or anything. This is in our Express funded account there. So there we have it, $1,200 in the red. That's where we're going to be locking up our day here on YouTube. Hold the phone here, Discord folks. I'll be joining here, you folks in Discord here in just a second, and see if we can catch any of this continued downside move. All right, folks, if you're going to continue to trade, make sure you're trading with discipline. Don't go too crazy. You can see that we only just were trading in 2 and 3 lot trades here. So keeping it nice and calm. You know, you're going to have losing days. It's how you react on your losing days. We're down $1,200, but hey, that's no big deal. It's nothing that we can't come back and trade on better setups on a better day. Very low liquidity environment today. Not the best trades. All right, folks, tomorrow, you do not want to miss the stream because tomorrow we're giving away 3 free months of Clubhouse. You do not want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All you got to do is show up. And if you want to pre-qualify, make sure you're following me on Twitter or Instagram at @SellingRips. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. That's all you got to do to qualify. And then just show up. Bring your tuchus here on stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp. And we'll start giving those free months of Clubhouse away. We're going to give away 3 of them. You don't want to miss it. All righty, folks. I'll catch you folks in the Discord, all my YouTube family. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp. Take care.